meant for me, Nolan? Let me do you one better. This man goes on to cock back the most egregious punch I've ever seen in this show. Hits Nolan in the chest, sent him crashing back into the planet as if he was a stray meteor. Bro got up from that lick and Thragg just in the background staring at him as if he were already down there waiting the whole time before Nolan even hit the ground.
RickWa reacts.
What up, folks? Tis RickWa, and for this video's reaction, I'll be reacting to how Thragg folded everyone and ran the Viltrumite war, and this is by Chi Jutsu. Oh, yo. But first things first, before continuing on, if y'all don't want to hear my yapping, and you want to just skip straight to the start of the initial video of this reaction video, then the timestamps are in the description below. So just making sure to let y'all know of that. But continuing on, so I gotta say, it has been a hella spicy minute and a half and then some since I last done a reaction video to one of Chi Jutsu's videos, and with him talking about Thragg folding everyone during the Viltrumite war, oh man, I definitely can't wait to see how Chi Jutsu goes about and does his commentary and recap on this all, because again, it's been a hella spicy minute since I last reacted to Chi Jutsu, but his content was always hilarious to me, to say the least. But I'm not going to keep on yapping, folks, and what I'm going to do is switch over to the green screen webcam real quick for y'all. There we go, folks. Also, I hope all of y'all are having a wonderful day today, and of course, please be sure to check out and support Chi Jutsu within his content creation journey, along with any other content creators that I react to, and making sure to check out and support them within their content creation journeys. But real quick, before I get started here, if y'all like this kind of content on my reaction channel, of course, please be sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below so we're getting things lively and poppin' and interesting within the comment section, like what you find to be funniest, or what references I might have missed within the schmicks of this all, or something positive, or even a super comment if you so wish, including a video request as well. And if y'all have not already yet, of course, please be sure to smack that subscribe button and the bell button so then y'all know when it is that I'm uploading new content onto my reaction channel, and the support is always very much so greatly appreciated thus far and going forward. Y'all are amazingly awesome, folks.
Okay.
And as well too, of course, please be sure to share it around with your friends or family, whatever you so choose to do. And if y'all want even more benefits, y'all can go about and check out my Patreon, in which the link to that is in the description below, and I'll go into more details of my Patreon at the end of this video and all that good stuff. But either way, enough of my yapping, and without further ado, folks, let's get started on this video from Chi Jutsu, being how Thragg folded everyone and ran the Viltrumite war. Let's do it to it, folks, shall we?
I'm not gonna lie, this season was cooking, but just know we only here for the war. But before any of that, we gotta talk about the prequel, the salt to the pepper, the fried to the chicken, the apples to oranges, Mark versus Conquest, the rematch. So the scene starts with Tech Jacket using observation hockey. She sensed the coalition ship was finna look like me after Taco Bell. Straight explosion.
Damn.
Then out of the rubble, we see Thragg done sent Conquest. I know seeing that bald head and them dentures had Mark behind the goggles looking like these. And honestly, I can't blame you, my guy. Seeing this geezer free makes me wonder how Cecil fumbled the bag so hard. Bro really thought a building and some heavy metal was gonna stop this man.
What happened, Cecil?
What the freak were you thinking? Fight. Mark been going through it ever since the season started. Nigga went from fighting a T-Rex to obliterating a facehugger pandemic to speed running Dante's Inferno. Now y'all got my guy fighting a top 5 and not 5 nigga in the verse. But remember how I talked about how Viltrumites were never meant to be stopped? Now
so
peep Oliver initiates for the hands to commence. Bro having flashbacks of getting treated like Great Laffy Taffy back on Earth. I will kill you! Get out of here, little nigga. So we bringing kids out here to die, huh? Conquest tries to pop his ult, but got the aura weaved out of his body. Had him looking back to see if anyone saw it. Oliver hits the body and starts spamming these Energizer Bunny ass punches. Oliver then caves Conquest's back end, but that don't work.
Nope,
all
it
that
did
did
not.
was fix bro's arthritis, because he snatches Oliver and immediately goes to gripping it like a Spalding. Had Art monologuing in the party chat.
See, y'all gonna learn to stop playing with OG Conquest. See, now little man gotta die. Cause you know, like who knows?
Stop me! Man, just wait, cuz. Wait till I'm done with Steve Harvey. I'm pulling up on you, nigga. Omni-Man punches Conquest across his dome piece and got his mouth tasting like nickels and dimes.
Damn.
These two clash 3 more times and click so Conquest can get a whiff of his food. He headbutts Omni-Man and was finna give him the backhand of doom until Mark came in for the save talking that cash.
Barely.
How the freak you alive?
Right?
I slimed you out months ago.
And
you know
Cecil
what?
should have been
I'm
kept
gonna let
you
that
dead.
slide. Cause how you thought I'd die after getting jumped by you and that pink Power Ranger looking hoe is beyond me. And this where Mark unleashed his inner dog. Bro flew at Conquest, grabbing him by the shoulder, only to lock in a bushel of rights and left. Who is Mark feeling like for real? Nigga kills a couple people and is on straight savage mode. Look at the way he loaded up the initial elbow. And then he starts spamming the mugs. But look at this nigga right here. Bro over here staring off into space. You see what I did there? Cause he's staring off into space. But literally. Rewind the tape. Mark acting so out of pocket his brother can't even recognize him. But the purple must have took some chromosomes away from bro. My guy, you are fighting Viltrumites. Lock in. Steve Harvey came and socked him. Then gave him the meanest drive-by hit stick I've ever seen.
Damn.
These Viltrumites just be moving different when fighting people, I swear. This level 100 principle was giving Alan straight work. Then proceeds to hit this horseshoe old maneuver to put 5 toes across Tech Jacket's head, sending him flying. Wait, rephrase that. Not him. I mean her. And bro sent her flying down. She got up talking about how she couldn't see, and look at this nigga behind her.
Oh, you can't see.
Well, I'm sorry for what I must do, for this about to hurt. Freak out of here.
Hey girl, you are lucky Alan clutched up. Now sit your tail down somewhere so I can fix this suit.
We pan back over, and Oliver literally getting his back blown out by a drive-by of Ray Lewis emotes. Oliver locks in for a second though, and I mean just a second. He somehow connects this kick that had a 10% hit rate. Bro even drew some blood. But the way Steve Harvey was looking at mans, I knew somebody was about to get packed. He pulls out the low 5, and when you see a Viltrumite clasping his fingers like this, it is never a pat on the back.
Nope.
Somebody
It is a Viltrumite
It's
chop.
crazy how their whole bag can change just from going from a fist to an open hand. Dang hand be moving like Excalibur. But Omni-Man hits Steve away before Oliver gets turned into an afterthought. And after all that, man still not thankful. Bro throwing a tantrum because Nolan didn't come and see him back on Earth. But hey, gotta let the hate run its course, Nolan, I can't lie. Cause you did do some grimy ish back on Earth. We get back to Alan and he giving mans here straight bully treatment. All of a sudden, these soldiers came in with the Blix strapped up, and I thought I would have never saw the day when Viltrumites needed backup like this. The tables have flipped back over, and Oliver had to fly down to this planet to catch his breath. And honestly, this just puts everything into perspective on the Viltrumites were never meant to be stopped agenda. These modern Super Saiyan niggas don't breathe in space. They are here holding their breath and are fighting this hard. You wouldn't see me doing anything of this equivalence. So Oliver flies past the fade to get to the planet, but the bald embodiment of power was like,
oh heck no.
I know your brother don't think he finna go breathe. Let me just use your chest real quick, nigga. Freak, freak, freak.
I know I'm too fast.
I swear, yo, this meme is just a f***ing classic in and of itself. It's like, Oliver, whatever you do, don't look behind you. Oh my god, yo. Just insanity with this one. All right, continuing on.
and you don't even know that I'm behind you, but I'm truly sorry, little nigga. You are about to die. And after that performance, Oliver, you gotta go home, bro. At this point, you were just death bait. Death bait is a character or situation that sole purpose is to be used for a kill or to provoke a kill. Ultimately causing mass distraction. Yeah, Oliver truly didn't even realize the terror that just occurred behind him. So now that the ones have truly been called, it's time for the rematch between Invincible and Conquest. And it's crazy how much Mark has grown, bro. Bro has truly become a real nigga. Told Conquest, you are never breathing again.
And stood
you
20 toes down.
Brolic mother. This right here is a battle of will. Mark trying to play to his strengths, but Conquest halts them in the air and flies down while going hand over hand in Mark's stomach. Had him looking like those blown up things at the car dealerships. They crashed through this mountain of jagged rocks, and when the dust settled, we see this nigga Mark is still holding on. Not only that, bro tightened his grip, and if that's not enough, his fit is not even tarnished. Oh yeah. He's locked. He flies them through some more rocks. These niggas go hurling through the air, and Mark booms that boy Conquest straight on his back. Freak you, nigga. All you do is cause pain. I'm gonna kill you even if I die with you. And even though Conquest can't talk at the moment because Mark's at his neck, he's still a combative guru. He threw out his Uno reverse and boomed Mark into the river. And you can now see him start to actually struggle right here as he's trying to pull away from Mark. So now he resorts to just straight violence. He's giving Mark all kinds of combos to the body, but Mark is not going. The grip on this nigga's throat is so tight, bro's eyes finna roll to the back of his head. Conquest picks him up, and while giving him straight body shots, he's actively flying Mark through the most jagged rocks he can find. You get a rock, you get a rock, you get a rock. Body shot, head shot, body shot. Now Conquest's face is purple from lack of oxygen, and Mark is still just staring him down. They get to a standstill, Conquest trying to pry him off, and this nigga Mark done went full senile. He bit that full finger off and spat it out like a nigga chewing dip. But Conquest held them 4 fingers up and pulled out the blade, stabbing Mark through the body to no avail though. The grip tightens, and right here, I gotta blur this ear. The scene low-key had me tight too, because I was eating some good din-din before this. Conquest begins to pull out Mark's intestines little by little. Bro got about 20 seconds left before he meets his demise, and you can see Mark is in agony. He in worse shape than he was in the first phase. But after all that, Conquest finally tastes death for
Oh no. Oh no. Hold the f on, yo. Oh, what was that meme? Oh, I gotta. That's my first time seeing this, yo. Yo, that's fucking hilariously accurate on just the Oh, bucko, that's funny as man. Oh, shit. That's insane. Because, I mean, yeah, in a nutshell, it was like spaghetti. Oh, man. But, yo, I definitely feel bad for anyone that was, like, in the middle of eating a meal as that scene was going on. Because I know with me personally, when I first seen that or anything that's like super gory and brutal within the Invincible series, I'm just like, ooh, oh, like I have to cover my eyes, yo. I just can't do it. Oh, yo, too funny. All right. Continuing on.
first fade. But after all that, Conquest finally tastes death for good this time. No cap, if I was Mark, once I'm recovered, Cecil getting a backhand from space after keeping this nigga alive. When Nolan and Oliver finally pull up.
So, if only, and I mean if only, Mark did not go through post-thragmatic smoke disorder, we would have been able to see that shit. But nope. The post-thragmatic smoke disorder was extra real when Mark came back to Earth. It's like, hey Cecil, guess what? I ran into space. Conquest. Oh man. All right, continuing on.
To the fade, all they see is a dead Conquest and Mark on 0.5 HP, twitching like he dang near dead. It switches to the other Viltrumites Conquest was running trios with, and they heading back to who knows where, while Tech Jacket and Alan hiding on the ship. Yeah, this was straight peak, no cap. Mark, 1.5. Conquest, 0, dead.
Damn.
That race of brolic super niggas is weak as ever.
Coalition.
So now we need to spin the block. This is our opportunity for a renovation.
Yo!
These activists really think they can hold us. Niggas think they, the Revolutionary Army from One Piece. Alright, we got something for that. It's called hands.
The Viltrumite war has officially started now. Thragg has lost one of his greatest soldiers. And it must have really took a toll on bro, cause he started pushing that triple K agenda, but instead of just judging by the color of their skin, nigga go, I hate everybody except Viltrumites. And he over here talking to the dead Emperor Argall's skull. These animals dare to fight me? A real nigga? I must teach them a lesson of their ways, for nothing is known in their tiny brains. Haters shall die. And I put that on the dead homies. I will not fail you, sir. And while folks dying out on the front lines of this war, Mark's still out of commission. So while bro is healing, Nolan and Oliver have a whole mini arc making up for lost time. These two spend months on this planet training and eating a whole bunch of bull ears. And what's crazy is they was feeding Mark straight chum bucket ingredients. On the field, Alan and Tech Jacket try to flee from inside the Viltrumite ship they snuck onto after the fade. They ain't even get that far before she was talking about she can't go no faster.
Dang, this girl slow as a mug.
Bro flew back and launched her to the coalition army. Then he turned around and put knuckles in Steve Harvey's face. He starts 2v1 fading these niggas, but Lucan and Buddy right here ain't no hoes. They start giving Alan straight work, all hands. Started getting so bad the writers had to step in with some plot. Tech Jacket pulled up with the space turtle looking nigga, and he had that thing on. He upped the stick and blasted mans into a Toji animation. Steve had to retreat after that BS. Back with keeping up with the Graysons, Mark finally woke up and he is in terror. Bro thought he woke up to no fam. He walked over to where Conquest was buried and thought it was a grave for Nolan or Oliver. But we all know they have to be used for some more plot points. So they pull up behind him and tell all the details of what he missed during his hibernation. On Telescria, the coalition going over some final plans. Alan and Tech Jacket finally back in the mix. These niggas even got battle beasts in this mug. But bro is only here for the love of the game. Nigga be wanting to fight so bad. The only thing they missing is that Viltrumite DLC pack, but that thing ain't getting downloaded until the Graysons get off this dang planet. In the meantime, we get a goulash of war preparation scenes, the coalition freeing more planets enslaved by the Viltrumites, so the allies at the moment are going dumb. Speak, nigga. Alright, so you know the planets we enslaved, right? Yeah, they rebelling, and the coalition is swooping in, instigating them against us. They allies are thinning us out like LeBron's hair. I can't lie, sir.
Damn!
This how they gonna do me? Huh? Nah, we pulling up to say less, sir. So the coalition council over here arguing about the war, you know, a whole bunch of jibber jabber about who's winning and at the expense of coalition lives. Then it pans to that chubby fool that handles the entrances and exits on the planet. Bro, basically the coalition secretary, and dude just let down the barrier. And I ain't gonna lie, they've been looking for this mode since the beginning of the season. I did not expect it to be one of these guys, but it makes sense though. Bro basically has control to let anyone in or out of the planet. You turn him into a mole, you got access to info and a one-time pass to get onto the planet. And that's sure enough what they did. Cause minutes later, everybody started looking up at the sky like, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nah. It's just a laser beam coming, laying ears down. The Viltrumite ship went straight for the headquarters too. Caught everybody off guard. Niggas started getting up out the rubble and hold the freak up. This nigga Thetis is jacked? like a mug. Bro fit got ruined and he gained aura. No cap. So the Viltrumites come in hot with the ship just lasering people down. And these Viltrumites really came in trying to step on jump. Civilians getting sliced in half and blown to bits and... Yeah, people just dying. But once the coalition regroup, the real fading starts. Cause Craig thought Jump was sweet talking about some where that ball betrayer Thetis. That buff nigga came in and punched the dookie at her bro. Who would have thought Thetis really had the hands? Craig recovered and got put in the Undertaker move. Then Thetis just started wailing on him. Craig kicks him off and they look about even now. Ellen drops in choking Steve Harvey and Tech Jacket once again spamming these key blasts. I ain't gonna lie, before the season, they was hyping Tech Jacket up like crazy. But Shorty ain't talking about nothing. Dropping a triple dookie on the stat line. If she ain't blasting away these little squishy troops, you might as well call her a liability. The Viltrumites stay having her out for the count. But of course, Allen came in for another save and uppercutted this fool away like he was on Team Rocket. But the dummy over here trying to be funny, and Anissa called the ones on Tech Jacket, got her by the neck, booming her through buildings. She puts her in the master lock and was finna rip her suit off, which is certain death because she is just like Iron Man. Without that suit, she's just a regular nigga. Well, without the billions of dollars, of course. But give me my theme music. Mark came in and knocked a fine ish out of Anissa. Nigga up top overlooking the fade like folks ain't dying. This battle literally looks like an alien apocalypse and bro staring off into space. But he finally locks back in. Him and Oliver flew straight through the Viltrumite ship Thragg was on. Bro in that mug worried about that dang Argyle skull more than he is about winning the fight. Ever since Mark and them showed up, the true Viltrumite population went from about 50 to about 40 or something like that. Cause the tables have turned. It got so bad, Thragg was like, Viltrumites, we off this hoe. And I'm baffled honestly. Cause how you gonna make the move and then sell the bag? So the Viltrumites fly off and this where Thragg got put on fraud watch. You can't be getting hyped up the way he do and pull some BS like this.
And then that's the thing. People were putting Thragg on fraud watch without realizing how cold he actually was when, you know, episode 7 came around. But continuing on.
But even though the coalition may have seemingly won this battle, the devastation was still immense. And Optimus Thetis down here talking about this was only a minor setback, while there's literal bodies everywhere. The group does end up finding the mole though. They accused the alien brother at first, and he realized right away who it really was. Flicked this brother straight in the noggin, had him on the ground looking slimed out. But Buddy wasn't even dead yet. They finished getting the info out of him that Thragg was heading back to Viltrum to regroup with the last handful of Viltrumites before they attack again. So Thetis had the bright idea to pull up on them before they pull up on us.
What? Thragg was prepared.
So we get a flashback during the prime days of Viltrum, back when Emperor Argyle wasn't getting his skull carried around. The council having this meeting about how to deal with the resistance on this one planet. We see Craig pushing that Thanos agenda and advising that they wipe out the majority of the population to make a statement. Young Thetis does the complete opposite though. Bro is asking that they be spared. Then next, we see why Thragg was the embodiment of the Viltrumite Empire. Argyle gave bro the last say so, and he was like, yes sir, we need to spin the block and wipe out all those peasants. That alone should be enough to re-educate the stupid creatures.
That's basically how that went in a nutshell.
Right. Now wipe out a quarter of them and call it a day.
All that talk of mercy got Thetis put on the hit list. Argyle and Thragg walking through the Empire, and Argyle gave bro a choice. Argyle told Thragg if he sees weakness in Thetis, that he needs to take action on it. Thragg ended up sparing Thetis, but that proved to be his one mistake as the Grand Regent. Because that night, Thetis pulled up on Argyle on UK timing. We see the knife and knew bro got stabbed in the head. That morning, the Viltrumites hold the funeral of Argyle, Thragg on the mic giving the best speech of his life.
Emperor Argyle did not die in vain. Through his death, we have been made stronger. The grimy nigga who killed him will be gotten back. I promise y'all that. I now see there's a plague running through our nation. We will cut this weakness out. Matter of fact, you, one day, will you be the next to betray your people? Grand Regent, I'll put it on the dead homies. I will never betray the Empire.
I don't believe you.
I call cap.
Then Thragg proceeds to speed blitz bro, slicing his head clean off his body. And as bro's body is laying there sullied on the steps, Thragg is aura boosting and makes himself the new emperor of Viltrum, but not before inducing some of the greatest rage bait I have ever seen in fiction. This man goes on to tell the Viltrumites that they should purge out any and all weakness, so betrayal like this never happens again. With that being said, all we see next is fists being clenched and the beginning of an all-out Royal Rumble to the death on Viltrum. Meanwhile, Thragg gonna walk back into the throne room while the Viltrumites are outside thinning out the population. And honestly, with this battle, we see that all Viltrumites were not made equal. Some of these niggas were literally one-shotting each other. Heads leaving bodies and backs being blown out. Even the little jits were out here stomping each other out. Well, this was more like a jumping, but you get the point. This has to be some of the craziest junk I have ever seen from any animated show. This is basically the culling games with no incentives other than you get to live another day if you survive the fade. And in the throne room, Thragg hits one of the cleanest poses of all time. This is how I'll be looking at the finish on the set of high rep heavyweight bench at the gym. Hours later, now that a literal half of the planet's population has been server wiped, only the strongest truly survived. We got niggas like Conquest here killing anything that moves. Thragg comes out talking about no more. The fade is finished. He said that, and Conquest thought about it for just a second, thinking if it was worth it to fight for the throne. In the back squaring up like she would have did something. Like, don't think we forgot about how Nolan did you on Thraxa. What you think Conquest gonna do? Thragg hit that man with the really nigga and said, I dare you to make me say it again. In that very minute, Conquest pledged his allegiance. Now that the weakness has been cleansed through straight hands and ultimate violence, the Viltrumites began their true tyranny against all races across the universe. Then it cuts back to the present, and the coalition are on their way to Viltrum to initiate this supposed sneak attack. Like, I truly don't understand how they think they are gonna sneak onto Viltrum. Do they really think Thragg is stupid or something? And what's crazy is Thetis and Nolan know what bro is capable of. They was on the ship there glazing him the whole time. Fools couldn't even eat their food. Thragg had them so scared. The final plan gets discussed, and calling the ones with Thragg was not on the table. If you were fighting dude, jumping him is your only option. But they finally get closer, and we see Viltrum is just a Saturn wannabe. But as the coalition starting lineups gets a little closer, this ring around Viltrum was actually all the bodies from the Great Purge and the Scourge virus. The group flies through, and Shawty with the hair blade was there scouting the whole time. Once on the other side, the group gets met with
I gotta say, yo, just like how calculated that all was, with all the Viltrumites hiding within all the dead Viltrumites, that were dead from the Scourge virus and whatnot. That like, yo, that is definitely some galaxy brain planning right there from Thragg to let, the other Viltrumites know to do that. But continuing on.
Mr. Himothy himself.
Mr. Himothy
Man came out to meet the fade head on. This alone takes bro off fraud watch. The other Viltrumites who were still alive was also hiding in the dead bodies and started jumping the coalition. The only goal for this whole fight is to kill Thragg, and he just sitting there spectating the brawl, not moving a single muscle. I'm talking Viltrumite kryptonite serum being shot out, Ragnars are getting released, and Space Racer is literally wiping niggas off the map. And bro has still not moved. Like, look at this. Bro casually dodges an eradication beam. Literally all of the Viltrumite's weaknesses are being exploited, and he over here oil farming. And I'm not gonna lie, the whole space fighting thing was throwing me off. It just looked too silly because we really couldn't see the devastation that these different attacks would really cause on a ground fight. That's the thing that made both of the Conquest fights so impactful. But that's where the animators reeled us back in, because after Nolan finally gets free from Anissa, bro caused the ISO flying dead at Thragg, only to be centimeter dodged into oblivion. This backstep was ridiculous. Thragg was like, was that meant for me, Nolan? Let me do you one thing. This man goes on to cock back the most egregious punch I've ever seen in this show. Hits Nolan in the chest, sent him crashing back into the planet as if he was a stray meteor. Bro got up from that lick, and Thragg just in the background staring at him as if he were already down there waiting the whole time before Nolan even hit the ground. He tried to hit him with that talk no jutsu too. Nolan, why are you fighting like this, my guy? Let's talk. Talk? Man, you know our people don't talk. We converse through more violent means. Just come back home, bro, and I'll forgive you and those weak old sons you brought with you. All Viltrumite life is precious to me. Nolan started talking about how Viltrum is no home anymore and is just a tomb for their people, and that must have struck a nerve. Thragg got out of character for a bit, but had to lock back in real quick because there's less than 40 Viltrumites left, and Thragg really trying to get his recruiting bag going. But you only gonna tell a true dog no so many times before he does something like this. Thragg brings Nolan to the throne room just to set up the scenery for real. He gave Nolan one last chance, and of course, bro said no. But Thragg ain't P. Diddy, so you don't need to tell him no. They squared up, and then suddenly Thragg cocked back the new #1 most egregious punch I've ever seen in this show. Mug was so tough it had its own aura. The punch then goes on to pull Nolan into range before the contact was even made. And Thragg hits Nolan dead in the chin, sending him flying back into space just as fast as he hit him down the first time. Do you know how hard you have to hit a nigga to send him flying back into space against all the air pressure, basically turning him into a human missile? He then flew up to throw hands with any person who dared to throw them things.
Yo! Oh my fucking god, dog. Oh. Oh shit. The reason why that shit is so goddamn funny to me whenever a content creator will talk about like those specific moments from this specific episode involving Thragg knocking Nolan down into Viltrum at like like a meteor and then boof back up like a rocket, is because when I was first watching this episode initially, I was like, yo, damn, Nolan got knocked down like a f***ing meteor, and he got boof uppercutted back up like a f***ing rocket. That was like, that's literally what I said in a nutshell when I first seen those scenes. And then just like witnessing other content creators like say those same similar comparisons. That shit just be too f***ing funny to me, because it's like, yo, I was thinking the same shit too. Oh my god, yo, just too goddamn funny. God damn. Okay. All right, continuing on, folks. My bad about that.
Looking around like, are there any volunteers? Seconds later, we hear this corny joke in the background, and I already knew who
Oliver,
it was.
I'm just
the camera
here,
pans to
Grayson.
Oliver. This little nigga Oliver just never learns his lesson. They specifically told bro to not challenge Thragg alone.
Yep.
And what does he do? Bro's been
Challenges
dang near
Thragg.
stretched in half, almost slapped out of existence,
Yep.
and is still on this dumb jump. At this point, Thragg, this murk this little nigga. Thragg catches his fist. You are not a Viltrumite, you roach. Crushes it, then slaps him so hard his jaw gets knocked off and his arm detaches from his body. Invincible sees this and immediately rushes in to get thrown away right after. That really cost him, so he had to throw in that he killed Conquest, and all of the Viltrumites got
Sonic
quiet
banger
real
that was
quick.
playing.
Anissa looking back like, damn. But Thragg, bro ain't phased. Show me how you killed him then. Invincible rushed in doing the same punch he always do, that flying single fist. And I'm sorry in advance for all the glaze, but dang, can Thragg be stopped at all? Bro sat there and took the punch with his hairline. It got so crazy, the animators gave bro some impact frames. The punch did reverse damage and freaked up Mark's hand. Meanwhile, Nolan tails still flying away, all the way out of orbit, while both his sons getting cooked. Once he flies through the ring, he zooms back straight into the fade. But low key, it's too late. Man. Look how Thragg dig Mark. Weaves the punch, socks him, now his head ringing. Gut checks him to make sure he feels it. Then he grabs him by the neck and slaps him away. During the chase down, Battle Beast gets no diff and thrown away to who knows where. Bro is out of the fade and we never see him for the rest of the season. It's just L after L after L with this nigga. All the way up until this moment right here. Because Nolan assembles the dream team, him, Mark, Thetis, and Space Racer head straight for planet Viltrum. And once they assume formation, I was like, no, ain't no way they finna. Space Racer shot that beam, and these three chased it down, creating a dang planet-busting ultimate. These three niggas flew straight through the entire planet, and Thragg tried his best to catch up, but it was too late once they touched down. That mug blew up, sending everybody flying every which way. Its bodies floating all around. Really, only the top people in the brawl are still alive, and the remaining Viltrumites are in shock. They just says,
Viltrumites, we cooked your planet. Now just surrender, for it is your only choice.
But Thragg had other plans. Dude pulled a meteor apart and told them he chose death. He said, and mind you, bro has tears in his eyes while saying this. That means the crash out finna go dumb, because then he speed blitzes Thetis, had right hand on face, left hand on chest. Then he rips bro's head clean off his shoulders, displayed it so everyone could see, and then squashes it. After this, it's just mayhem. Thragg calls ISO on Nolan, pounding his head full of CTE. Bro was doing relay punches off this nigga's body. Mark told Alan to find Oliver, and they dipped out. But when the remaining Viltrumites pulled up, those plans changed real quick. The rest of them dipped off and left Mark and Nolan to fend for themselves. And this man right here is not playing no more games. Nolan rushes in, gets his punch deflected into a broken arm, throwing him away like trash. Do you know how strong a nigga gotta be to deflect your arm and it just casually breaks like a pretzel? Then he chases Mark's scary tail down and pawned him by the head before getting interrupted by Nolan yet again. But Mark looks over to his dad and asks him, how do we beat him, Dad?
Mark.
And that said it all. There's no beating this man. It's only death. Thragg was right back on him and impaled Nolan, seemingly killing him. Then takes another hit from Mark, grabbing his neck and pulling him in for a headbutt. Then the violence couldn't get any worse. He tries to gouge out his eyes, but the scenery in the background got to him. He knows they've already lost so much, so he spares Mark and Nolan, and then him and the remaining Viltrumites fly off to who knows where, leaving those two floating in space to die. Eventually, the game grabs them, and time flies by, and the camera switches to Mark waking up from a coma.
Tom Holland, man, what the fuck?
Alan has become the new coalition leader. Oliver is on life support, and they don't know where the remaining Viltrumites are. Then Mark was like,
they've gone to Earth.
Yup.
Had me looking like this on the other side of the screen, because that statement would have genuinely gave me a heart attack. See, I'm convinced this is the worst universe you can live in. Literally nothing goes to plan, and niggas always dying. So the coalition rushes to Earth only to find and see no Viltrumites in sight. And Mark is really going through it too. It seems like bro is going insane. He done reunited with his family, found out Eve was preggers, and took a plan B. And the only thing on his mind is Thragg killing his loved ones. And with all this going on, they really thought it was a great idea to hold my nigga Paul. Her and Debbie end up calling it quits, and all of a sudden Nolan is slowly inching his way back into the picture. Like, come on, bro.
You can't keep getting away with it.
Nolan went to his old stomping grounds, and Cecil pulls up talking crazy. Like, Nolan can't just pop his head off his shoulders real quick, like.
Yep.
But anyways, Nolan was about to leave when Debbie comes out and tells everybody she is going to Telescria to see Oliver. And I know Omni-Man was licking his lips like he was finna get his shorty back. They fly off and Mark flies off too so he could clear his head. When on his little journey, he runs into the Grand Regent himself. This wasn't a hallucination. This is the real thing. Thragg got straight to business. Told Mark he had two choices. Let the Viltrumites he sent across the planet to assimilate with society and have babies with the humans so they could rebuild, or He could choose to fight and billions of lives will be lost. So after some thought, he chose peace. Now Steve Harvey, Anissa, Craig, and some others are walking around with the sole purpose of procreating with humans and restoring their race. But honestly, what could that nigga have done? Yeah. We gonna pause for a second and think about it. What could Mark really have done? Yeah, absolutely nothing. This man Thragg is unstoppable. They end the season finale with Alan looking at this message Thetis left them in case he were killed. Thetis told Alan to release the Scourge virus and eradicate all Viltrumites, including Mark, Nolan, and Oliver at all costs, even if it costs the lives of some humans, because apparently this new Scourge virus variant will kill anything with similar DNA to Viltrumites. That means humans and anything else alike.
Yo,
that is the end. Season 4, boy, that mug was some peak. I can't lie. I don't know how they gonna top this in season 5, but the setup is perfect. Each season has gotten literally better and better. Well, y'all do need to step with the animation because that mug dookie at sometimes. But anyways, y'all like, comment, subscribe, get ready for today's time with God. No scripture today, only prayer for those who need it, which is us all. Dear Lord, you are so amazing, wonderful, powerful, and merciful. You allowed us another day at life. You've blessed us with food on our tables and a shelter to sleep in, dear Lord. Even in the midst of this worldly turmoil and tribulation, you continue to display your love through all the sins we humans create. Dear Lord, the JMF and I just thank you for sending your son to down that rugged cross for our sins also. And just ask that you would continue to give your people the strength, courage, and grit to spread your word across to all the nations before your appointed time, dear Lord. Dear Lord, we need you now more than ever, so we plead for your forgiveness and give you all the glory. We love you, we thank you, in your name we pray. Amen. See ya.
Jutsu Mafia, hidden technique. Peace.
I fully respect that. Oh man. Definitely some hilarious commentary points within the mix, some fire music choices as well too, and it's always hilarious whenever a content creator talking about that specific moment in season 4 when Thragg punched Nolan down into Viltrum and then uppercutted Nolan out of Viltrum, where it's like, oh, we punched him down, it looked like a f***ing meteor, and then punched the shit out of him upwards, and it turned into a f***ing rocket. That shit is always f***ing hilarious when it's like, oh man, this is what I initially think of this, that, and the other, and then reacting to a content creator that basically says the same thing that I said in a nutshell. It's like, oh shit. Oh man, but season 4 of Invincible was definitely f***ing amazing, yo. And so is this video from Chi Jutsu as well too. Oh man, definitely great, amazing stuff once again to Chi Jutsu for this one. Oh yo. Oh man. But I hope y'all, the audience, have enjoyed my reactions to this video from Chi Jutsu. And if y'all have, of course, please be sure to give the video a like and leave a comment down below so we're getting things lively and poppin' and interesting within the comment section, like what you found to be funniest, or what references I might have missed in the schmicks of this all, or anything else in general. So again, we are getting things lively and poppin' and interesting within the comment section and all that good stuff. But either way, I'm not going to keep on yapping. I'm going to switch back over to the regular webcam real quick for y'all folks. There we go, folks. Once again, I hope y'all, the audience, have enjoyed my reactions to this video from Chi Jutsu, and also, again as well too, great amazing stuff to Chi Jutsu for this video as well. Oh, yo. Oh man, But either way, I'm basically at the end point here. So there's that, and if y'all have gotten this far, I do greatly appreciate that, as basically I'm soon fitting to bounce. So there's that. And if y'all like this kind of content on my reaction channel, of course, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below, share my content around, because of course that does help with the algorithm. And if y'all have not already yet, of course, please be sure to smack that subscribe button and the bell button so then y'all know when it is that I am uploading new content onto my reaction channel. And the support is always very much so greatly appreciated thus far, and going forward, y'all are amazingly awesome, folks. And as well too, if y'all want to get some extra benefits while supporting me a little bit further, y'all can go about and check out my YouTube memberships by pressing that join button down below. You can either join the Shoutouts tier or the early access tier, whatever floats your boat on that notion. And if y'all want even more benefits compared to just being a YouTube member, y'all can also go about and check out my Patreon, in which the link to my Patreon is in the description below. Feel to check that out and all that good stuff, as there is a lot of extra benefits you can get on there, like being able to watch my content early, including with it being uncensored, including some extra specifically Patreon exclusive content on there as well. And also, if y'all want a guaranteed reaction to your video request, y'all can go about and become a member of the RickWa Reacts to Your Video Request tier. And then after you do that, then you will be able to comment down what you want me to react to, and then you will get the guaranteed reaction to your video request. So just making sure to let y'all know of that. But either way, I'm at the end point here. So again, there's that. And I hope y'all, the audience, have a wonderful rest of your day. And until the next reaction video that I upload for y'all, peace out, folks.